Hi, my name is Annamieka Hops, and this is the Art Friends Show, where every conversation focuses on getting to know the essence of creativity itself. I'd love to invite you as well to join me inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics and join in with other art friends around the world. Thanks so much for joining us, and let's get to the show. Welcome to the Art Friends Show. Here's an artist you're gonna love to know. Hi, I'm Annamieka, and this is the 40th day of going live every single day for 100 days to create the Art Friends Show. I'm doing this to figure out how to host a real show, and these are real interviews. These are so exciting. Today we have Megan Diana, who's a musician, an incredible, multifaceted creative and an artist, and I can't wait to introduce you to her. Without further ado, here we go.
Oh,
Hi.
this is the first time I'm ever doing this. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. So you're tuning in from Chico, California today.
Yes.
It looks gorgeous.
There's a beautiful river down there that I'm playing a house show today. In a couple hours, and we're going to be outdoors and we're going to be singing over this gorgeous space back here. So I'm very excited.
That sounds fabulous.
It's fabulous. Yeah, I know. I feel very lucky. Absolutely.
Cool.
It's
Good. So, can you just tell people the name you go by professionally and a bit about what you do?
Yeah. I go by Megan Diana, which is my name, just with my last name left off, I guess. That's what I sing under. That's what I perform under. And when I'm not doing my own music, which, I'm a songwriter, I play piano, I play keys, I play French horn. I also am helping others make music through the project that I started, which is Piano.Push.Play, which I think is definitely how we know each other. And because many of my friends, many of the art friends that you've interviewed have done pianos for me, which is incredible.
Yeah, I remember when my friends got a piano dropped off at our studio and painted it. But before that, I think Jules and Brian both painted pianos. So tell us a bit about. Let's talk about Piano.Push.Play.
Okay. Yeah. A long time ago now. I mean, we just celebrated 10 years. We just celebrated a full decade of putting multiple pianos on the streets of Portland every summer. And it really just started with one piano and one street corner. I was coming back to music after 5 years of not singing, not playing a piano, working in all these other fields that I really loved, which were food and apparel. And I kind of had this realization that the thing I really loved to do was incredibly trained in already at that point, and had a talent for, and all these things that a lot of people, wish they could do. It was also the thing I was meant to do. And a lot of things in my life cultivated in me at the moment, starting to write songs, starting to come back to piano. And about a year later was when I saw a cellist on a street corner, and I said to friends at the time, I wish I could do that. I wish I could bring this kind of magic to a street corner unexpectedly, but on a real piano, which is really hard to bring out to a street corner. And I at the moment I said it, I almost was like, oh, that's a nice idea. That's a nice thought cloud, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be actualized.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get that idea out of my head, and months went by, and I saw a piano store just a couple blocks away from that street corner. And so I went in and made friends and pitched them my idea of giving this pop-up concert. It was the era of the flash mob and all that stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Kind of it is that it's like a flash mob. And to my surprise and delight, they were like, we like this idea. We'll mount a piano on a dolly, and when you want, you can push it up the street and play for people. So that was how we got our name, Piano.Push.Play. That's literally what I was doing. And I became friends with this piano store, and I found out they had all these old uprights in their attic that they it wasn't even worth it for them to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody at the time sent me a video of a piano installation that was happening in New York and said, this is kind of what you're doing. Like, have you ever thought, wouldn't it be cool if they came here too?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to wait for it to come here. If I went to the piano store, I said, if I figure out every detail, who's going to paint them, where they're going to go, how I'm even going to afford to do all of that. I had no idea at the time. Could I have 5 of these old uprights next summer? And they said yes. And that was 10 years ago. And so a lot has happened.
Yeah.
Beyond that time, from just, my friends and I painting, like, just please play me, or stenciling something like that on them, to now the works of art that you see everywhere, which is just amazing. And Jules is done. Gorgeous.
Anissa, they're so amazing, and I've seen them all around town at the art museum on really unexpected corners where you're like bringing something special. And
I mean, I think the more unexpected, the better, especially when it comes to coming upon beautiful works of art that you get to interact with, literally. And I think that's a big reason that I've always had amazing artists. I've also say absolutely yes, I want to do this, because a lot of times you're making a piece of art and it goes on a wall and people get to look at it and enjoy it, but they don't get to literally like sit down and play on it and interact with it in the way that I think a lot of artists have told me that's what they love doing these pianos for. So
yeah,
there you go.
Amazing.
I know. Sometime.
What?
I said I can't wait for you to do one sometime.
I would be delighted. Yeah, I would be delighted to tackle a piano for you. That'd be so fun. And also I did a show that was like casts of breasts for raising money for breast cancer, and they had a long legacy of artists that painted these forms, and I felt just as excited for the concept of it, as well as like the incredible community. And with this decade of Piano.Push.Play, just to like, kind of like make a piano among all the legacy of how many artists have made them too. It's just such an honor to participate in that way. Yeah.
And it's been amazing to see what happens to somebody that I reached out through Instagram, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and to be able to watch their career like grow from I've only ever done this scale of painting into now I'm doing murals. Now I do product design for big dream companies. It's amazing to watch people grow.
Darren, who we both know and was on this show a few days ago, and is like has made it. Darren has made it. We love Darren.
He's like, I'm doing stuff at IKEA. I'm an artist to watch. I'm like, of course you are. And I remember the beautiful circle that's developed from just because I met him through ADX, which has been a partner of mine for as long as I've been around.
Yeah, my
friend Kelly started that and owns it, and they sponsored one of the very first events we ever took a piano to, and then they wanted a piano at their community space that anybody throughout any time of year could come into ADX and use to write and perform and play music, which is such another the project is giving people access to pianos and music that don't have it otherwise, because it's costly to maintain, move, tune pianos, and not everybody that plays has one at their fingertips like we want them to be. But
seriously. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you really you have been the idea and the hub and the I'll handle every detail of this really generous community project. And I'm curious because you're doing a Kickstarter right now, right? For your album, and that's a time to kind of flex and say like, hey community, I'm doing a trust fall right now. Like, where can we go together? So how's the Kickstarter going for you?
I love that idea of the trust fall. Yes, because that's absolutely, especially with the Kickstarter, where it's like you either your goal or you don't get any of this support. You know, it's been an interesting.
Right. Kickstarter's all or nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not just like, oh, and you know, a lot of the other crowdfunding things where no matter what, you're going to get whatever people have pledged towards you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been amazing to see people that have, you know, I don't know that well. As soon as I launched it, you know, gave a pledge and, you know, would send me some kind of meaningful remembrance, or, you know, had just seen me at you know, a show or something like that, and really already believed in me and wanted to hear more, especially when they're seeing me solo, which is how all of the songs begin, me and my keyboard. But then beyond that, you know, I always go into the studio and bring out all the other things I love to play, which are my French horn, which I've been playing since middle school.
Yes.
And, yeah, and you know, I've come into this new era of having a genre I like to call dream country disco, and so I have a feel there. You know, it's coming back. If people don't know already, I think everybody knows, but like, people want to dance, people want to move their bodies, people want to feel good, especially after, you know, the last couple of years we've had of not being able to gather and dance with each other IRL. I see last year so many people I know having these incredible dance parties, disco parties, ABBA's back, like all these things that make me even more so see the need for people to gather and move their body and feel good and dance, like, because it really
your music style we're calling dream country disco.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's what I'm calling it. So I'm pioneering.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you're creating what hasn't been made before. That's the beauty. I love that song.
The Kickstarter, I mean, it's also a really powerful thing for people to remember that we're all in this together, and that, you know, a thousand people, we, you know, that just give $5 already, that's like a lot of money. That's $5,000. And to remind people that these kinds of supports are incredible gestures that are kind of showing like that our collective support for somebody can, you know, even though when you're like, because I get it, sometimes I remember like feeling like, oh, are they going to be more insulted that I gave them $5 than like nothing if this goal is like several thousand, or you know, somebody on the street, like how much help is that really going to do? But actually, like, this is the thing, it's like if we were all doing these small acts or little gestures of support, it adds up to lifting up everybody in your community or your that's the whole
that's amazing. I'm actually, like, a couple things I've learned in this conversation is, one, if I donate $5 to your Kickstarter, I'm actually being helpful, because I definitely am in that kind of range right now. But that's really encouraging to know that I can. And I've probably not donated to a couple recently, been like, I can't give, you know, $50 as much as I'd want. And just
no, because I mean, I was talking to somebody on tour about this, another musician, where we were just talking about how it's karma, and I, back in the day when I was like, you know, before I was really touring, and before I, you know, when I felt like I was in a position of like, I have to make sure that like I can't support somebody at like at $100, but when I started going out and realizing what it meant when somebody just was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that pin and it's $7, here you go, like how much joy that brought me, but also like, wow, it was always like a very like big thank you. And so, you know, when I am out and I play with others, I always make sure I support in some little way, because also I find that it comes back to me, like, because I get it more and more that if you want to receive love and kindness, you got to give it out. If you want to receive support, you have to give it out yourself, you know? So it's along the way. I've seen some other Kickstarters when I was like always checking out mine to support, and you know, realizing that all these little gestures add up to amazing big mountains of support. But yeah, it's been fun. And I mean, the album, I just can't wait to be able to share it very soon. I'm so ready. Like, these songs are so at this.
Cabin Fever is the name.
Yes, Cabin Fever is the name, and you know, I wrote it. I was in a cabin in March of 2020. I had gotten into my very first art residency, which was such an amazing experience that I'm now on a journey to make sure I'm applying for a couple every year so I can get at least one, and I'm just about to go and do another one in May, which I'm so excited about. But
amazing. And you really bridge the gap. I can send you some links for art residencies. That's kind of where my career started, was working at one here in Oregon. Okay. So let's follow up about that, and maybe I'll put it in the comments after your interview.
Yes,
for other people watching. But you also are the first person who's like working primarily in music, not visual art, or in something beyond visual art. And I realized, like, even in introducing you, I'm so insular in my visual art niche. So I was like, this is Megan Diana. She's a musician and a creator and an artist. My definition of the Art Friend Show. Obviously, I want to interview everyone about the process, and you've been such a bridge builder. So I'm acknowledging you for that as well, for art residencies, for the way that you put together these whole worlds.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's also, and you know, it as an independent musician, over time, you know, as I got better at learning how to write songs I love, and then also how to like arrange them and produce them and record them, and you start to build your world and what you sound like, you really start to realize also how handy it is to have not the right visuals, but to learn how you want to represent yourself aesthetically, and create that world visually for Megan Diana. And what does Dream Country Disco look like? You know, how can I tell the story of what the music sounds like? Even more if they can't hear, and then when they can see both of them together through what does this album, you know, cover look like? What do my images look like? What does my merchandise look like? Is it colorful? Is it uplifting? Is it fun? If that's the kind of feeling I want to translate to people, and how do I work with friends that are graphic designers and other artists to really translate the music and what world Megan Diana lives in into a visual medium. I mean, and that's, you know, there's just always, with every cycle of releasing music, you make it, and then you start to dream about what is the album cover look like? Are we going to make a film, a music video? Like, what kind of story do I want to tell there? You know, and how to really think about if we're going to make something physical that somebody holds in their hands, how can I make that make so much sense and be like this treasure that makes them remember when they saw me live, you know? And maybe it's not even a thing like a CD, you know, some other kind of item. All of that kind of stuff is really has been another journey of like getting better at being a performer, being a touring musician, thinking about all those things. And every artist, every musician needs like a graphic designer, a photographer, like an artist, like
team.
We all need each other. We need each other.
I need a jingle for this show. I need like a theme song for the show.
We're gonna be trading.
I can paint or whatever, be your hype woman.
Great. I've done a couple podcast theme songs before. I don't know if you know, but
really, for what?
Do you know Vanya Vananina?
Yeah. Of course, she and her mom came and visited. Yeah, I know that we were at Love Fest.
So she did piano, and then she had a podcast for a while. I think she's still doing it, but it's so amazing. That's me doing that podcast theme.
Oh,
So,
great. Oh,
yeah.
great. You want to do another one? Because I want to turn this into a video and audio podcast. So I'm so glad we talked live on the show.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
I love it so much. It's so great. Yeah, that's the kind of thing too. Like, I think I'll apply for a RAC grant to get some funding to be able to do, like, if you want to be paid for that sort of thing, to launch it at the next level. But right now I'm just going live 100 days in a row because every single day we figure out another piece and get to showcase someone whose career is happening right now. Like, your Kickstarter is happening right now. You're about to sing to a new audience right there in 2 hours.
At 6 p.m. Western Standard.
Yeah. We got our. Do you want to sing? Can I? Do you feel like singing a bit? Is that in your zone right now?
Sure. I mean, I hope it's not like choppy, but just a little line or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a song that the video for it is in that Kickstarter, and it's the most recent song I released, and I released it on Valentine's Day, and it's probably the most earnest love song that I've written. And my wish, it's called The Warmth. I'm just going to sing a few lines from it. My wish is that everybody has somebody that makes them feel like the sun is shining on them in their life, because we all deserve that. You know, that's a friend, that's a family, that's a mom, your lover, your pet. I don't know who it is. If you got one, then you're pretty set, and if you got more than that, you're really really lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. It goes like this. Everything that you want, everything that you need, a conscious girl on your heart, the rings of time on a tree. There ain't nothing to prove. There ain't nothing for you to pay. I only know in this moment. I want to see you today. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Oh, honey, I had the best kind of chills, like the best. Oh, it's
yay! Yeah, it's a sunlit visual, and it was really fun to sing. It's my favorite one to sing too, because whenever I talk about it at the beginning, I usually see at least one or two people in the audience kind of like, look at somebody next to them, or like hold a hand, hold that person that they came with that makes them feel that way. And that always, that's always why I wrote it. so yeah, that's The Warmth. Go listen to it today.
And your voice, I mean, even on this live, not optimized for audio, like, your voice is so touching. I'm so glad you're out there singing. It is definitely a gift in this lifetime for you. I love your voice. Yeah.
Thank you. I've had some really beautiful people, say beautiful things to me, and if it's just
keep it up, people.
Yeah, or just that. I also think some people think it's like with the pianos. I remember growing up and taking piano lessons, and at the time it felt like a lot of the time when you're in these kind of classical worlds that if you don't make it to Carnegie Hall, why are you even, why are you playing? Instead of, realizing that if you love to do something, you should just be doing it. If you want to make
mama. Yeah.
But that there are so many different ways to have success and make it to, and I don't even see it as like making it to an end goal. It's like tentacles out into a community that get to share my music and myself and my stories with. And it's even if so it's even if it's not an arena of people, which maybe someday it will, the fact that one person at every show always has like something really meaningful to tell me, it makes the 4 hours it took to drive there and set up and carpet
Yeah.
stuff in, and absolutely worth it. So
Yeah.
all it takes is, so when you say, when you see something you like, if somebody does something that touches you, like, be sure to tell that artist, whatever the medium is, like, hey, this touched me because of something, like, 'cause it makes all the joy in the world, for
It
me.
helps us keep going, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like something I come back to a lot is, like, for me, it's all about staying in motion creatively. And that's often my role with other creatives, is helping them stay in motion. If we compare that to, say, feeling stuck, right?
Yeah.
It's staying in motion. And to know that, like, it's fulfilling if you have that urge to create and you're out there, schlepping all your gear and your multiple instruments to your show and putting yourself together and doing the inner work and showing up so you can sing that song. Yeah. And for someone to let you know that really, that it was effective, like it touched them too, that's such a win-win. Because
another, it always reminds me also to do that for others, just in the same thing that we've been talking about, where it's like, as soon as somebody gives you that energy, it's time to, like, that makes you want to pass it on to others. So that's another thing that
I'm excited for you at this moment. I feel like we'll look back together at this Kickstarter and, like, the what that opens up for you, because you're really asking your community to help you level. You're out here doing the work, and it's all happening. This is just awesome.
I'm doing the work. Yes. I love it. I love this dog too.
This is Summer.
Summer.
She's 5. My daughter's 3, almost 4. So I used to joke she's the firstborn, but she's
the big sister.
Yeah. She's been in the studio her whole life. So years back when you had the piano delivered to some of the friends,
so she
would come to that same era. Yeah. She's used to be part of this stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited for you to have your concert tonight. And thank you so much for talking to me about all of
it's my pleasure.
Absolutely. What a delight. Yeah.
We'll talk again.
Okay, let's talk about art residencies, about helping with the music for the podcast. Maybe we could start it live, so on the video part, you could be shown a little bit or something. Or I paint you while you're playing. We could just do it anyway, there's a bunch of ideas here. That would be, because that's also how we met. Yeah. I drew you. Yeah.
Yes, you did. I know
that.
I know I was. And I was snapping and all the things.
Things.
We have so much.
Okay.
So many more things to collaborate on.
Great. Well, I'll see you again. And everyone else, thank you for watching. Definitely comment and love her up, because what were we just talking about? Share that nugget of appreciation, or how it touched you, or what it sparked for you. It's super motivating. I mean, the whole premise of this show is we're all art friends. We're here to make friends with our creativity and each other, and help each other stay in motion. So, lend a hand. I can hear my daughter waking up from her nap. So I bid you adieu.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. I'd love to have you inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics. Follow the link that's in the show notes, or find it on my website at annamieka.com.